I would like to request Dr. Haider Ali from University of Sawat. He is here and represent the University of Sawat on the behalf of Vice Chancellor Professor Hassan Sheikh, and he is with us, and we are blessed to We are blessed, and we welcome him. He is all the way from Sawat for last 3 days. So please welcome Dr. Haider Ali. And in the meantime, I would request Dr. Naim Sadek to please come forward and chair the session. Please welcome Dr. Naim Sadek. I would also request Professor Dr. Dildar Hussain Kazmi to please come forward and also join the chairs, please. I would also request Professor Dr. Muhammad Shaukat from Awaz-E-Bahwalpur University, Islamabad, to please come forward and chair the session. I would also request Professor Dr. Naila to please come forward and chair the session as well. From UET Tax Law. So I would please, sorry.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. And a very pleased and good morning to everybody. Thank you, sir. So today I will be talking about the impact of climate change and biodiversity. In fact, I'm feeling rather more reluctant than usual because talking in front of Ashik Ahmad Khan Saab regarding the biodiversity is like, thank you, sir. Thank you so much. I'm honored, sir. So, conservation biology is a mission, and it is a mission driven, it is oriented science that focusing on protecting and restoring biodiversity. So, for the students, I've defined biodiversity, rather, it is in all forms of life, all levels of organizations, subpopulations, along with their biosphere. We cannot we cannot delete the environment from the life on earth, so we will have to consider the life along with its environment, all interactions among forms of life and its environment. So where is the biodiversity? The endemic species. For the students who are not familiar with the word endemics, I would define it that the species which have restricted distribution, whose distribution is restricted to a specific geographic range on the surface of Earth. They are unique, their genotype, their genetic makeup is unique, that's why their population size is very restricted. So let's talk about the hotspots on the surface of Earth. We have hotspot. These are indicated with the red color. In Pakistan, we don't have even a single hotspot. Biodiversity hotspot. These are the criteria on the basis of which hotspots are described. But 20% of the population, human population, which is growing at the rate of 1.8% per year versus 1.3% worldwide. And the most astonishing point is that each hotspot has already lost 70% of its vegetation. And why did we lose this number? It's only because of the human unsustainable activities. The current status of biodiversity is 1.4 million described species. So this is the number of species which are known to the scientists, okay, with a possibility of 10% in total. So I'll be talking about, my talk is focused on extinction, that is the sixth mass extinction. In the background it is happening as compared to the last 5 extinctions, which were only because of the environmental catastrophes. But this sixth mass extinction is only because of the unsustainable activities of the human being, जिसको मैं अक्सर कहता हूँ हज़रत इंसान अलैहिस्सलाम जो कुछ कर रहा है सब बर्बाद कर रहा है. So we have to think about what we were we are doing in the name of development. So, if our developmental activities are not sustainable, if they are not in line with the environmental sustainability and the biodiversity sustainability, then we will be losing them all of a sudden. The fossil records species survive 1 to 10 million years. 1 year, one species has a 1 to 10 million chances of going extinct, and we are causing one species to get extinct per year because of our unsustainable activities. So the mass extinction, loss of large number of species usually due to catastrophic. That is what I have already told, that mostly the previous mass extinctions were only because of volcanoes and meteoroid impacts. Very rare, 5 times in 3 billion years. This is the probability of catastrophes. The current rate of mass extinction. Total taxa are becoming extinct at the rate of about 4,000 per year, that is 100 per day, and one taxon every 15 years. These are the species which we know about them, which the scientists have described them and then named them. These figures are restricted to the species which we are familiar with. And now the scientists are still exploring the world for describing new species. The current rate of mass extinction is 1,000 times faster than the previous 5 mass extinctions. And again, this is because of the human unsustainable activities. By 2050, 50% of all taxa on the planet will either be endangered or extinct. By extinct, we mean when a species is extinct, this means that not even a single plant or animal is found living on the surface of earth. So this is the definition of extinct. So habitat destruction and global warming, these are the main threats to the species extinction and dragging them to the endangered category. 25% of the mammalian species and 15% of the birds. Some estimates. So this is another scenario if somebody is of different opinion with the figures. So one species per hour, 1 million species total so far, 10% of all species so far, 8.8% of all species. So this is another school of thought which is considering the rate of species extinction in a different way. So the number of threatened or endangered species, the vertebrates are 9%, 5,188.17%, the invertebrates. And among the plants, 2.89%, that is 8,321 plants. The lichens, rather we don't know more about the lichens. Since 1600 to 1,000 species have gone extinct, probably many more. Why do species become extinct? Two separate processes. There are two different ideas on the basis of which species may become extinct. When there is something causing a large population to decline, and on the surface of Earth, we are noticing
it's unfortunate that Dr. Sahab have to leave. Otherwise, it was wish for us, for you, that we have the concluding section. But I don't know. He has to travel all the way to Swat. I would request Professor Dr. Ataullah Shah Sahib to please come on the stage and give the souvenir to the presenter, Dr. Haider Ali.